Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us on the news. Remember, you can watch this live on Vision TV 247 and other various social media platforms displayed on the screen. I'm Ruth Aguila. My sign language interpreter is Taiwo Ozoma. Let's start with the headlines. Muslims all over the world celebrate Eid al-Fitr to mark the end of Ramadan, just as President Bola Tinubu joins other faithfuls in Lagos and asks for faith in his administration. Plus, in South Korea, the opposition seems set to win the majority in the parliamentary election. The ferry service linking Senegal's capital Dakar with the southern city to resume soon. And now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to remain patriotic citizens and continue to have faith in his government in its bid to lead the country to greatness. This was the message of the president as he attended the Eid al-Fitr prayers at Dodan Barracks, Lagos. State House correspondent Musbahuddin Wahab reports.
30 days of religious obligations and supplications in the month of Ramadan end with Eid prayers. President Bola Tinubu, who severally implored Nigerians to protect the dignity of the country, would continue here. What's coming first was the two-standing prayer led by the chief imam of Lagos State, Sheikh Suleiman Oluwatoyin Abunola. The sermon of the chief imam coincidentally reflected the position of the president as he urged Nigerians to shun all acts of violence, ensure peaceful coexistence, and continue to have faith in the country. He challenged those in leadership positions to remain faithful to their oath of office and work towards alleviating the plight of the less privileged. Familiar faces and other faithful had the privilege of presidential handshake. And the president wants Muslims and indeed all Nigerians to maintain spirits of patriotism and be ready to play their role in the Project Nigeria.
The kind of resilience, sacrifice, endurance that we have, we should preserve that for the country. Be kind and be cheerful giver. Love our country better than any other country. That's the only one that we have. And we must continue to protect the integrity of our government and leadership.
And from the stable of renewed hope are assurances that this agenda would not fail Nigerians.
Renewed hope is alive, well and fine, and Nigerians will continue to be very hopeful. Without hope, there's no salvation. Without hope, there's no development. Without hope, there's no life.
Earlier were prayers for God's guidance, wisdom and protection for the presidents, Lagos State, as well as peace and stability of the country. In Lagos, Musbau and Wahab, NTAi News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima was among Muslims that observed the Eid al-Fitr prayer at the Ramat Square in Maiduguri, Borno State, to mark the end of the Ramadan fast. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jabrila reports that the Vice President was also hosted to a dabar at the show of Borno Palace, also part of the celebration.
Shettima Mamman Saleh, the Imam Idiani of Borno, led the 2 rakat prayers. The Imam, during his sermon, reiterated the need for more prayers for the peace and unity of the nation.
Pray for peace, social harmony, and development of our dear nation. That's our prayer and that's our best wish.
A colorful derby was organized by the Borno Emirate with the Shehu of Borno leading. Vice President Kashim Shettima was later hosted at Government House Maiduguri by Governor Babagana Umara Zulum. Governor Zulum enjoined people of the state to be patient with the current challenges as government is doing everything possible to address them. People were seen on the streets of Maiduguri celebrating the festive period, signifying the return of peace in the state. From Maiduguri, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Former President Muhammad Buhari joined other worshippers to observe the Eid al-Fitr prayer at Daura Central Eid Praying Ground. Hussaini Suleiman will tell us about that.
This is the first Eid al-Fitr observed by the former President Muhammad Buhari after the completion of his presidential duties. The former president was in amidst hundreds of worshippers at Daura Central Eid Ground.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
After the 2 Raka'at congregational prayer, Sheikh Safianu Yusuf Dansangwe stressed the importance of giving out Zakat al-Fitr, assisting the needy, as well as observing the 6 days fasting within the Islamic month of Shawwal. Emir of Daura, Umar Farooq Umar, and the former President Muhammad Buhari call on Nigerians to embrace unity and respect to the leadership at all levels.
Well, Nigerians, I advise that they should continue to support the leadership. We hope that whoever has the opportunity to serve can go back home and live peacefully.
At the Locust Eid Ground, Imam Hassan Yusuf called on Muslim Ummah to remain vigilant while continuing with prayers for the end of insecurity challenges in some part of the country. The Salah is celebrated with a colorful horse riding by the Emir of Daura, who was receiving pleasantries from his people. In Daura, Hussein Suleiman, NTA News.
Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, was among those who observed the 2 Rakat obligatory prayers in Kaduna. The minister appealed to Nigerians to remain united in pursuing peace and stability in the country. Salihu Gwanara reports.
To the Muslim faithful, including the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, fasting for 30 days and observing the spiritual obligation is an opportunity to sustain prayer for the country.
We pray for our leader, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the giant strides he is taking to reposition Nigeria to be among the best in the world. And like the Imam said, all of us, Muslims and Christians alike, have a duty to be sure that Nigeria stays in peace, Nigeria stays in unity, and we look forward to the progress of this country.
Chief Imam of Yahya Road Jumat Mosque, Mohammed Khalid Ilyas, led the congregation at the Capital School Eid Praying Ground to crown the spiritual exercise with the 2 Rakat obligatory prayers.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
His sermon thereafter re-emphasized the need for Muslims to uphold and practice the virtues of the month of Ramadan.
Over the years, we all know that there has been a gradual erosion of our values. And consistent with what the Imam said here, all of us have to come together to reclaim those values. Some of the reforms that the President is already taking, we're already beginning to see some of those fruits. Our economy is getting repositioned. The foreign exchange market is stabilizing. Agriculture is being repositioned so that we will have food security for our people. And indeed, the security situation of the country is also getting improved gradually. We condemn all the dastardly acts that the terrorists have been inflicting on this country. And we do hope that they will also draw from the lessons of Ramadan to ensure that Nigeria stays in peace.
For the minister, beyond the spiritual benefits, it is also a period of reunion with family, friends, and well-wishers. In Kaduna, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
As Muslims the world over celebrate Eid al-Fitr, the festival marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan, with prayer, reunions with family and friends, new clothes and sweet treats. However, it was a somber atmosphere at Al-Aqsa Mosque in East Jerusalem, where more than 60,000 Palestinians offered prayers for Gazans. Comfort Fashion reports.
The first day of the Eid al-Fitr starts with a sighting of the crescent moon, marking the first day of the month of Shawwal, the 10th month of the Islam calendar. Celebrations this year were overshadowed by the worsening humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip and Israel's threatened ground offensive in the southernmost city of Rafah, with no let-up in the 6-month war. So millions of Muslims, while celebrating, prayed for the Gazans. In Istanbul, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan at the Hagia Sophia Mosque said he stood for Gaza and hopes that the Eid will lead to peace and tranquility. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim also called for unity and reconciliation in his message on the eve of Eid, saying no groups should be sidelined based on religion or any other reason. Dimli Arshadiq, who chairs the advisory board of the Indonesian Mosque Council, in his message said, "This is the time for Muslims and non-Muslims to show humanitarian solidarity, because the conflict in Gaza is not a religious war, but a humanitarian problem." Meanwhile, few people from the occupied West Bank were granted entry into the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Islamic Endowment Department in Jerusalem said in a statement that more than 60,000 faithful offered prayers to mark the end of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holy site in Islam, which has stood on a hill in the old city of Jerusalem for more than 1,300 years. Comfort, Fashion, NTAi News.
Nigerian business magnate Aliko Dangote is calling on captains of industries to continue to partner the government for the betterment of the country and in the interest of the citizens. Another business tycoon, Femi Otedola, and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State were part of the visitors who paid Salah homage at the Lagos residence of President Bola Tinubu. Dangote said the visit was an opportunity to also discuss about the economy, as there is always the need for collaboration between the public and private sector for the good of all Nigerians.
Well, my own short measure is for us to now actually partner with the government and make sure that we better the life of the citizens of the country, because it's like clapping. You can't clap with one hand. So both the entrepreneurs and the government, they need to clap together and make sure that it is in the best interest of everybody.
Efforts in checking the deterioration of naira value in the foreign exchange market, Aliko Dangote believes benefits of various efforts will continue to manifest in other sectors of the economy.
And I'm sure when the inflation figures are out for the next month, you see that there's quite a lot of improvement in the inflation rate. So step at a time, and I'm sure the government is working around the clock to make sure that things get much better, because it's in the interest of everybody for Nigerians to get things better.
In the spirit of how we have been during both the Lent and Ramadan, let's continue with that synergy of peace. Let's know that it's the only thing that can continue to strengthen and hold us as a nation. Let's continue to see that as a rallying point, as people, and to say that indeed some of the challenges that we witnessed at the beginning of the year, we're beginning to see even some ease, even faster than we had expected. We're beginning to see some gradual ease, on economic pressure. We're not out completely yet, but we're beginning to see the ease of it. And we as leaders have to now even double up our efforts to do the work faster and quicker, so that the citizens can have that, ease that they all are craving for.
All right, let's go on a break. We're back. Stay tuned. Glad you're there. First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu has rejoiced with the Muslim Ummah on the occasion of the completion of the holy month of Ramadan. She enjoined Muslims to sustain the good deeds exhibited during the holy month. In a statement signed by her senior special assistant on media to the First Lady, she said Ramadan is a period of reformation and teachings of how to live a selfless and godly life, noting that the lessons learned during 1 month of fasting should not be eroded on the altar of celebration. She said modesty in celebration and continued extension of love to others should be uppermost, while kindness to one another and service to humanity should extend beyond the month of Ramadan, as well as the sustenance of those virtues of self-purification, sacrifice, self-discipline, and being compassionate to fellow Nigerians be embraced. She commended the women folks for their sacrifices of preparing meals for the family and generally taking care of the home front during the holy month of Ramadan, saying their sacrifices will be rewarded by Almighty Allah. The First Lady charged the youth to shun negative acts, channel their energies positively, and join hands with the government towards achieving a greater nation. Despite our differences, living together in peace and unity is the key to our shared prosperity. Omenka Amarachuko reports that the Prelate, Methodist Church, Nigeria, His Eminence Oliver Abba, gave the admonition during his apostolic visit to the Nigerian Christians Pilgrims Commission in Abuja.
That is a warm reception by the Executive Secretary of Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, Bishop Stephen Adebite, given to the prelate during his visit. The Methodist leader is on advocacy to solidify relations between churches in Nigeria and the wider society.
Use this opportunity to ask all Nigerians that all of us must join hands together and build this great nation, Nigeria.
God will continue to bless him, bless his apostolic tour of Abuja Archdiocese, and bless all of us and bless Nigeria.
Prayers were offered for peace and national coexistence among Nigerians. In Abuja, Umenka Mrachuku, NTAi News.
Vote counting has begun, we hear, after South Koreans cast their ballots in the key legislative elections, seen as a referendum on President Yoon Suk Yeol. After a polarizing campaign, the elections will determine who controls the country's parliament and whether President Yoon Suk Yeol can advance his socially conservative agenda. Comfort Fashion reports.
South Korea's opposition was seen to have been heading towards a landslide victory in the just concluded parliamentary elections. Reports say the outcome, if confirmed, will leave Yoon with little power for the 3 remaining years of his term in office and could even open way for his impeachment. The Democratic Party, DP of Lee Jae-myung, are forecast to win as many as 197 seats, up from 156 in the last parliament. While Yoon's People Power Party, PPP, and its partner are projected to be trailing on between 85 to 99 seats, down from 114. From the start of his presidency in 2022, Yoon has been unpopular. His planned healthcare reforms led to a crippling strike by doctors. There were also shifting demographics on Yoon's side, with younger Koreans being put off politics by a political class dominated by older men. The younger generation also struggles economically with very high competition in education, fewer job opportunities, and sky-high housing costs. All these are evident in a country that has the world's lowest birth rate. Former Justice Minister Cho Kook said the will to judge the Yoon Suk Yeol administration is very clear. The first official results are expected late Wednesday. Comforts Fashion, NTAi News.
The ferry service linking Senegal's capital, Dakar, with the southern city is to resume operation. Services were suspended some 10 months ago due to political unrest. Let's hear from Comfort Fashion again.
The resumption of the service is expected to coincide with celebrations marking the end of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, during which many of the Casamance population return to the region. Locals and a number of regional figures had in recent months called for the restoration of the service, arguing that its suspension had severely hindered the local economy and travel. Authorities halted the ferry service last June following deadly unrest in the Casamance capital of Ziguinchor and other cities, sparked by conviction of former opposition politician Usman Sonko. Sonko, who is a mayor of Ziguinchor, was appointed prime minister earlier this week by his political ally and Senegal's new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye. The maritime link, operated by 3 ships, is vital for the economy of the rural and cut-off Casamance region and offers a key alternative for many who cannot afford the cost of a plane ticket. Comfort, Fashion, NTAi News.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated elder statesman Chief Ayo Adebanjo on his birthday. The president commends Chief Adebanjo for his decades of spirited advocacy for a united and equitable Nigeria, as well as his contributions to enrich national discourse. In a statement by the presidential spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu wishes Pa Adebanjo a happy birthday and prays to God Almighty to grant him many more years of excellent health. President Bola Tinubu condoles with the family, colleagues and fans of Ace Kannywood actress Saratu Gidado, who passed away on Tuesday morning in Kano. President Tinubu described the passing of the 56-year-old movie star as saddening, not only to those mourning her, but also to the nation, which she honored through her talent as a thespian. In a statement by the president's spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale, the vacuum her demise has created in the flourishing entertainment industry, Gidado's humanitarian pursuit will also be missed. The president also sent his commiserations to the Kano state government and to all those impacted by Gidado's passing and prayed for Allah's mercy on her soul. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu congratulates the Super Falcons for edging out South Africa and qualifying for the 2024 Olympics in Paris. In a letter she personally penned to celebrate the victory of the team, the First Lady says ending a 16-year Olympic jinx is no small feat. The letter quotes her saying, "Your perseverance and commitment have truly paid off. Your hard work, resilience and team spirit have brought glory to Nigeria and inspired countless young girls across the country to pursue their dreams fearlessly. I am so proud of all your achievements. Your journey doesn't end here. It is just the beginning of an even greater adventure." End of quote. She charges the team to make Nigeria proud and bring home the gold. And next will be Thursday's weather prospect. That concludes the news. Thank you for your time. Do enjoy the holidays. I'm Ruth Agwele. My sign language interpreter is Taiwo Ozoma.